Welcome to Echevarria Travel, where we deliver all destinations from pole to pole. Whether it's tickets to a local event, a group bus trip, air travel for families, or cruises, we are here to lighten the load and take the stress out of planning your trip. We offer excellent travel packages for everyone, and we specialize in providing travel assistance to the special needs and disabilities community. Echevarria Travel provides education and information on traveling with medical conditions and accessibility options in airports, on cruises, and in foreign countries. Before you give up on taking that dream trip because you have special needs that seem to make it too difficult, please contact us for a consultation first. Echevarria Travel's award-winning founder, Cheryl Echevarria, loves to travel and has personally overcome the challenges of traveling with blindness and special medical needs. Call us today at 631-456-5394 for a free consultation about your trip and explore the world with Echevarria Travel.
Make sure it's recording. Okay. Good morning, everybody. This is Cheryl Echevarria of Echevarria Travel, and this is being recorded for this Friday, August 7th, 2020. I can't believe it. It is August already this month. Half the year is gone, and hopefully the rest of the year will be better for everybody. This week, I have a very interesting person, very good man I'd like to call a friend, Mr. Curt Zielinski, who owns Fine Design Signs, and he will be talking to you about graphics and wraps and all the good things that his company can do for your company, whether you're a multi-million-dollar business or a small entrepreneur like myself. So, good morning, Curt. How are you?
Good morning, Cheryl, and thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
We appreciate having you on as well. Now, I want my listeners to get a little feeling of who Mr. Curt Zielinski is. I mean, I know you're from Philadelphia, big native of Philadelphia, big sports fan. So give us a little background on who you are and as a person before we start talking to you about your business.
Sure thing. Thank you. So, as Cheryl mentioned, I am Curt Zielinski, owner of Fine Design Signs, Graphics, and Wraps. We consider ourselves business branding experts. We're located in St. Cloud, Florida. Cheryl mentioned I am a native from up in the Philadelphia area. I've been in Florida for about 4.5 years now. I used to work for Lockheed Martin. I was transferred down here. And after a little bit, ended up owning my own business. I like to say I was a rocket scientist, but now I am a rocket scientist. Hopefully you caught that.
And it's very interesting because we always hear the joke, about being a rocket scientist, and actually no one. So this is cool.
I am a passionate Philadelphia sports fan. I'm proud to say that I love my, all the Philadelphia sports teams. Love the Philadelphia food. I'm married to my lovely wife, Kathy, for 32 years. We have 4 children, Kelly, Lindsay, Jennifer, and Evan. The 3 girls are married. I have 3 grandchildren. So, and I love life, and I enjoy having fun. And, good food, good beaches, good drink, good beverage, you name it. But I just seem to enjoy life, so I'm always happy too.
And that's the way it should be. I mean, life is too short, as we've seen in these new normal times, that you got to get out there and enjoy it, because something can one day take it away from you, and you got to really enjoy it and enjoy the moment as well.
Absolutely.
Let me ask you, why did you move to Florida? I also moved to Florida about the same time as you. My husband retired, decided, the New York area was a little expensive for us. Was it the same kind of feeling for you and Kathy?
No, so actually, as I mentioned, at the time I was working for Lockheed Martin, And I nominated for a position down here and actually got the position. And we always thought that, if the company would move us to Florida, we'll take advantage of that. So, we moved on the company. It was a company transfer. But the downside was after 9 months, I ended up getting laid off. So I had to figure out what I was going to do with the rest of my life. So I ended up deciding to open my own business.
That's really great, and it's nothing like being your own boss, because only you can yell at each other or fire yourself or whatever it is. Only you can do that to yourself.
Yeah, the only problem is you can't blame anybody else.
That is very, very true. What made you decide to go into this? And I kid around calling you Mr. Sign, but what made you decide to go into the graphics and sign business?
So it was a roundabout way of getting there. After getting, over the shock of getting laid off, I knew based on my age and salary, it was going to be difficult getting back into the corporate world. So I started looking at, are there business opportunities that are out there? So, while I was looking to, find a new job, I was also looking at, hey, maybe there's some, business opportunities that I can look at. And it's not that I had this passion for the sign business or anything like that, but I actually like the business model because we're kind of like a franchise, but we're not. And I tell people we have all of the benefits, but none of the drawbacks. And the main drawback is I don't have any, I forget, what are those monthly fees that, a lot of franchises have to pay.
True.
So it was a one-time buy-in fee. And the support of a franchise, but not having the overhead and the financial commitments. So it was more the business model than the business itself.
I hear you. So similar to mine, I'm an independent contractor. There's two different sides. Either you do a franchise or you're an independent contractor. And I don't like my hands being handcuffed. I want to be able to do what I want and have, like you said, have the benefits of having the large business there to help if I need it, but not to control the business either.
Exactly right.
So I know from knowing you almost 3 years now, not only are you a domestic, but also an international business. You actually have a business you met in the United Kingdom.
Correct. We also we've done some work for companies in Japan, and the two most proudest things I've got is we actually did 2 plaques for Army units down in Guantanamo Bay. So,
awesome.
Yeah, though they were small, but those are probably the ones I'm the proudest of because companies reached out and we were able to do that, and that's just a really neat feeling.
Yeah, it tugs at your heart, and that you're giving back and not just, it's important that we your integrity and the type of business you are, that you're a really great man, Curt. I have to say that.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
And we're always joking with each other, but Curt is a man to reckon with. And he's very professional. And he knows what he's talking about. So anybody out there looking for a great sign company or just a great representative to speak with, Mr. Zielinski is one of the best I know in the business. Let me ask you something. For somebody that's a small entrepreneur, I mean, we're always talking about the large companies. What do you think some of the biggest mistakes that we make as a small business that we're not getting enough signage out there? Do you think we're not getting enough, we're not doing enough? And if they're, what do you recommend for somebody starting out that doesn't have big bucks, that may wanna, okay, let's start small, and when we get there, we'll work with Curt to make it bigger and bigger and bigger. So what do you recommend in those aspects?
So the first thing I'll sit there and say is, your brand is important, okay? If you think about franchises, whether small or big, McDonald's, Starbucks, things like that, they have something that is instantly noticeable. You know, the McDonald's arch, you know, the Starbucks logo, the Nike swoosh. Okay. So having something that, you know, makes you distinct and stand out from the crowd is very important. The other thing I like to say is, you know, as a small business owner, you know, who's only been in business a little over 2 years, I understand that when it comes to, you know, branding, it can be expensive. But what I'll sit there and say is make sure you look at it not only from the price perspective, but the cost perspective. You know, if you have a brick and mortar facility, a sign on your building, you know, electronic, you know, if it's, you know, lit up or so, it's probably going to cost you $5,000. Okay. Now, starting up early on, I know that's a lot. There are ways to get around that. Number one is there are leasing options where you can actually, you know, pay for that sign over the, you know, course of number of years. You're going into the business, you're expecting to stay in that business for a long time. So yes, the upfront cost might be $5,000, but when you think about it, you know, if that sign's going to last you 5 years, which without a doubt it should, what's your daily cost and what does that brand mean to you? Don't skimp on the brand because that's how customers are going to know you and recognize you. So make sure as you think about this, you think about, you know, what's this going to mean over time? Even if you move, you know, most signs you can take with you. So, you know, if you think you're going to be in it for the long haul, think of what that cost is going to be over the long haul. You know, a good outdoor electronic sign should last you 10 years or more. So $5,000 over 10 years all of a sudden becomes a small amount daily. Okay. The other thing is make sure you're consistent. You know, whether it's, you know, business cards, you know, shirts, signage, you know, indoor, outdoor signs, wraps, make sure your brand is consistent. And also make sure it represents who you are. I mean, if you're a professional organization, you may not want some, you know, very, you know, multi-colorful, you know, hard to read items. You know, make sure what you're doing is matching your business and matching your profile. Okay. The other thing, some of the things that we make sure that we do that you won't get anywhere else is a building sign. How far is the building from the street? You need to figure out what the size of the lettering or the text is going to be. You want to put vehicle graphics on your vehicle. Where are you going to be driving? Are you driving on streets that are predominantly 25, 30 miles an hour, 45, 50 miles an hour, or on the highways, 70, 60, 70, 75 miles an hour? The faster you're going, the less time you have to, you know, people to look at it. So you want to make sure it stands out. So we try to make sure that we take care, you know, ask those questions up front. What are you going to use it for? How do you intend to use it? What's the message you want to get across? And then try to provide a solution that matches your needs. Anybody, you know, there are plenty of car wrap businesses around here. You call them, oh, what kind of car you have? Okay, full wrap, partial wrap. Okay, well, here's your estimate and everything like that, without even getting into the details of what you're trying to do. We try to understand the problem and solve the problem that you're trying to resolve.
It is not only car wraps and outdoor signage you do. You also do stuff for trade shows, tents.
Absolutely.
So those of us that do not have brick and mortar buildings, that were home businesses, that you do that type of information and business for them.
Yeah, and again, you know, I'm a firm believer of less is more. You know, you bring up a tent. I've been to outdoor events where people have tents up, and you know, a lot of times on the flaps on the, you know, the tents, you can put text on there. Well, the text is so small that you can hardly read it from 10 feet away. You're trying to attract people, you know, on an outdoor event from 50, 100, 150 feet away. Think about that. So yeah, it's all about, you know, what is the, you know, where are you located? What is the problem you're trying to solve? I'm working with a customer right now that's just bought a new facility, and we're taking a sign down off of their building but they wanted to put something up to let new people know that they're there. So we started talking about it, let's put a temporary banner up. And he goes, oh, wait a second, if we're going to put a banner up, we do outdoor events. So maybe I only need the banner to be, 2x6. I don't need people from the street to see it. I just need people in the parking lot to know that we're there. That way we can reuse the banner for our outdoor events. So being able to extract that information up front, now we've got something that the customer is going to have, temporary identification now, but they can use it for their outdoor events down the road.
Awesome. That's good to know. A lot of people don't think about that when they're actually wanting to do their signs and their graphics and their apps.
Exactly.
It's good to have the right person, and also the right person that's not just there thinking about, okay, yeah, we all want to make money, but we all want to work with a business owner that will give you the right information and not the wrong information.
And if I follow that up, yeah, I hate spending money, and I hate wasting customers' money. So I'd rather let's give you the right solution at and the right value for what you're looking for.
So let me turn the tables a little bit, and I appreciate you talking about your business, but it's also a travel show. When you're traveling with you and your family, and I know, like I said, you're a big Philly man, but are there places you like to go and or dream destinations that you like to share with with our listeners that we may not know about you?
So when Kathy and I first got married, our honeymoon was, we went to Hawaii. We were there for, I want to say 10, 11 days. And that was, over 32 years ago. I cannot wait to get back to Hawaii. I loved it. With her and I growing up in Philadelphia, we were always Jersey Shore people. So we are attracted to beaches. We love beaches. As a matter of fact, I have a golden rule, no matter where I live, I've got to be within 3 miles of a beach. And when I say beach, it's got to be 3 miles or 3 hours within a beach surrounded by salt water. So anywhere that there is good beaches is places we love to go. The one nice thing about here in Florida is living here in St. Cloud, we're 45 minutes from the beach on the East Coast. We're maybe an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes on the West Coast. So getting in the car and going to the beach is it's fantastic here. So we could, we're the type of people, we could sit on the beach as long as we have those, fruity cocktails or, nice beverages. We could go out there all day and just, sit on the beach and, and enjoy it and for what it is. So, beaches are probably our number one place to go.
Awesome.
But that being said, when our kids were growing up, I actually, one of the things that I did, back then was, we had, 4 kids. So anytime we would go somewhere, with 6 people, hotel rooms were probably not the best way to go. So I actually bought a timeshare very early on that worked out. It was great for us. I don't know that it's great for everybody, but with 4 people, we always ended up with places with 2 or 3 bedrooms that made it great for us and the kids and everything like that. So
you still do that with the kids and everything? You still go to the timeshare, or you?
Nah, not as much today. No, we've let the kids use the timeshare and things like that. If they need it. So we haven't used it as much recently, but it saved us a lot of money. Going on vacations. Well, the nice part was we did, when we were up in Philadelphia, I think we did Disney 3 times. And each time we did it was a 2-week activity because the lodging was already paid for. So we could afford to spend more time.
Exactly. So that's it. Exactly. And as people change and as family changes, your priorities change, and the type of traveling you do will change as well.
Exactly.
I want to thank you for coming on today, Curt, and talking about fine design signs. Please give our audience information on how to reach you, and it'll also be in the resource area of the podcast and the YouTube video. So, Curt,
Thank you
take it
very much.
away.
And I'll give you a plug too, Cheryl, in traveling. I mean, we did a lot of vacations on our own, but I'm at the point in time now where I don't necessarily want or need to do that. So, if and when we take our next vacation, we'll look into the travel agent other than driving to the shore. But
We
so
appreciate
thank
that.
you for that. And if you need to reach me, again, my business is Fine Design Signs. That's Fine, FINED-ZIGN Signs. Our phone number is 407-624-3796. Our website is fdzsigns.com. And you can reach us by email at info@fdzsigns.com.
And remember, if you're listening to this and when you're contacting Curt, make sure you mention Talk Travel with Cheryl so he knows where you got the information from him on. Or you can contact me and I'll be glad to make a referral and introduction to Mr. Zielinski. Please send my best to your lovely wife, Kathy, and hope we get together soon. And again, thank you for coming on Talk Travel with Cheryl. This will be on on Friday's show. So listen out for it. And again, thank you so much.
And thank you, Cheryl. And if I may end in my classic line, Philly, Philly.
Philly, Philly. Take care. Thank you, Curt.